YEEZY SL-01 versus Adidas Yeezy Slide versus Yeezy Foam Runner. First off, in particular to Adidas Yeezys, sizing can be different based on colorways. Just keep that in mind. However, I have multiple slides and foam runners that vary in sizing and colorways. I own two pairs of Yeezy slides in 12, one in onyx and the other in ochre. I own two pairs of foam runners, one in 12, the other in 11. And lastly, I own the Yeezy SL-1s in 11. The most oversized by far goes to the SL-1s. Even after going a full size down, they fit half a size to one size large, with plenty of heel movement and toe room. The most undersized goes to the Onyx slides. Lengthwise they're perfect, but that top strap is incredibly tight. I can't wear my Onyx slides with socks, but being barefoot offers a snug fit. I recall my ochre pair, my first pair of Yeezys ever, being a snug fit at first, but I was able to break them in pretty quickly while I was on a Caribbean vacation late in that summer, and they fit effortlessly with socks on soon after. I hardly ever wore my Onyx pair so they could take longer to break in. The foam runners are the closest to true to size. They're easy enough to slip on with or without socks, but there's noticeable heel movement without them. With or without socks, there's some sense of tightness around the toes. So if you don't mind the heel movement, people with wide feet may want to consider a half size up. When it comes to seasonality, the slides are the clear winners for the summer. The thick platform makes them comfortable on all types of surfaces you'd find at beaches, and they're super easy to clean. My pick for the winner currently goes to the SL-1s. I'm sure the SL-2s will be better, but we're right in the middle of the fall currently, and these have been keeping my feet toasty, even on long walks with my dog in the windy mornings. The best year-round shoe, slipper thing in this collection would have to be the SL-1s. They can be slipped off and cleaned like slides in warmer months, then fully protect and insulate your feet later in the year. Would maybe shy away from rain and snow, however, as they can be slippery when wet. Easy winner for comfort has to be the Yeezy slides. The whole thing is softer than most shoe sole inserts. They're just clouds on your feet, but not so soft to disrupt your natural movements, and the ergonomics is natural. It's like you aren't even wearing anything on your feet after a while. Now, if you're going to go with the Adidas Onyx pair, I would recommend a half size up, unless you want more security, but don't mind breaking them in without socks on. The least comfortable in the collection are the foam runners in both sizes I purchased. There's zero uniformity in the ergonomics, countless random pressure points and bumps throughout the interior of the shoe. The heel lift is very noticeable at true to size. The wide rounded heel makes walking feel awkward and unnatural, and wearing socks doesn't make it any better. I'd rank the foam runners right below the Yeezy 450s as the second least comfortable Yeezys at true to size. The Yeezy slides are my all-around pick for comfort, only just slightly edging out the SL-1s. The SL-1s may have taken the cake if it wasn't for how thin they were. Simply too much road feel. Hopefully the SL-2s will adjust that. Quality-wise, the slides take the win. They're just tanks. I know my Onyx pair will show scuff marks more easily than the ochre pair. I'm just impressed that the ochre has its color, its mix, its shark fins, and only just recently started showing signs of creasing. They just feel substantial, and built to last. Lowest quality has to go to the SL-1s. It's a bare minimum on the foam thickness, which makes them feel cheap, and that thinness leads to faster, more frequent creasing, which has already started to appear even at 1 week of use. The shark teeth are the same foam thickness to the rest of the slipper, so they'll be prone to smoothing out sooner than later. I'll put the foam runners one grade above the SL-1s. The fidelity of the foam design is very impressive for its construction, but similar to the shark teeth on the SL-1s, that bottom texture will smooth out in months with regular use. When it comes to design, the slides are the best looking and most future-proof. The worst looking has to be the foam runners, and that's more for their limited use in really any environment, outside of car shows and malls that is. I do think it's an iconic design, but it's totally form over function to the same extent as the 450 slides. The SL-1s are right in the middle. Not too exotic, but a bit much for their sheer scale. At the right size, they can be more formal than slides, and appropriate for more occasions than foam runners. When it comes to my recommendations, everyone should own a pair of slides. The ochre pair was my entry in the Yeezy fashion at a time I didn't care about fashion, and I'm not the type to feed into hype, but the slides were worth the hype. Can't say the same for foam runners. I gave them a solid chance by buying 2 different sizes with no luck, so they'll go next to my 450 slides as a showpiece. Just buy a pair of Crocs instead. And the SL-1s were a nice surprise. They're simply comfortable and nice to have around. A decent entry into the whole Yeezy line. Hope you all enjoyed this comparison. Thanks for watching as always, and more soon.